Hi folks, how you doing today? Scott Cohen here. Just want to make some additional videos regarding chapter 13. Go through a couple of examples. Also, so I mentioned about doing, the class was online about doing a face-to-face, which we did last Thursday. The problem is I am not really happy with how videos look, when we record them in WebEx. I'll still hold those sessions, but I'm going to make recorded videos like this because I watch that thing and I find it has, I just don't think it's that good. So anyway, let's take a little look at chapter 13. Okay, obviously the other videos are already out there, but here you go. This is all about retirement savings and deferred compensation. Now for this chapter, we don't have a tax return, but what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to go over. These are not even questions that were assigned to you. The homework that was assigned to you is not extremely difficult, and there are hints in there. The ones I'm going to show you are harder, more comprehensive problems. I'd suggest you watch the videos just to understand really what it's about. Definitely harder than your homework, not something that you're assigned. But it'd be kind of like the equivalent of, the difficulty like with a tax return. So it's important stuff, okay? So the thing we're taking a look here has to do with benefit plans, defined benefit plans. We're going to talk about a little bit different. Some tax consequences of retiring. And by the way, all of this is hugely important to us, to you, even if you're not into your career yet. And I'm sure some of you are. But it has to do with deferred compensation, having to do with retirement benefits, taking a look at traditional and Roth IRAs. Hopefully you know a little something about that. Retirement savings, and then something called the Savers Credit. This is a credit, basically it's a credit given by the U.S. government based upon how much money you've put into your retirement account, and it's generally aimed at lower to low middle income folks. Okay? All right, so let's just take a look. So the first thing you need to know, two big ideas from this chapter: defined benefit plan and defined contribution plan. So defined benefit plan, this is probably, I think it's probably now less than 25%. And this is everyone else, if you get it. And I'm trying to think, this, what do they used to call it? What was the term? I can't think of it right now. But a defined benefit plan tells you how much you're going to get in the future and how much exactly, where a defined contribution plan is a little different. So I'm going to talk about that. Okay? So defined benefit plans. So notice this, and by the way, for those of you, pension, that's the term. Pension. For those of you that have taken intermediate, there's one chapter all about pensions. Pensions are not that popular anymore. Matter of fact, they're part of what when General Motors went bankrupt and went through reorganization, part of it had to do with that. What pension plans are, so the employers have to calculate how much to pay you when you retire, how long you're going to live, and notice, and it's based on actuarial assumptions. So they're constantly looking. And like I said, this is going to be an ACC. I don't know if it's 3320 or 3330. I don't even know the numbers anymore. But it's going to be an intermediate, the second part. And again, notice, the employer, not the employee, bears the risk. This is important to know. Again, general thing. That's why not very many places do it. Okay? So the U.S. military does it. Some government agencies do it, but most regular businesses don't anymore. Okay? Now with these plans, see this thing here, vesting schedule? Vesting means the rights to the money, okay? And again, this is kind of like high overview stuff here. And there's a 5-year cliff or 7-year, okay? All right, so there's some things here. Distributions from these types of plans, they're ordinary income when you get them in retirement. And if you take it too early, you're gonna get a 10% penalty, okay? Besides being taxable. Okay, so here's an example. CBA provides a defined benefit plan to its employees. Under the plan, they earn a benefit equal to 2% of every year of service of their average salary for their 3 highest years. So notice here, 3 highest years and 2%. If Tina worked for CBA for 4 years, earning annual salaries of 60, 65, 70, and 75, and then leaves to work for another employer, what annual benefit will she be entitled to receive? Notice her vested benefit. Okay, and how long did she work for 4 years? And what else to say? All right, so let's take a look at the solution here. Okay, so here's what happens. The 3 highest years are 65, 70, and 75. Add that up, divide by 3, you get $70,000. Okay? 4 years of service times 2%. Remember 2% per year? So 70,000 by 8%. This is the full annual benefit. Now, she was on, this is what I was looking for. She was on a 7-year schedule. So on a 7-year schedule, if you've gone through 4 years, you only get 40%. This is how much she will wind up getting out of that retirement plan. Okay? So she wasn't fully vested, so everything in there she didn't get. Okay? All right, let's take a look at some other. Defined contribution plans. So here, it's the upfront contribution. So here, the employer agrees or gives you dollars, but what happens is it's on the employee has the risk. Okay? So basically, they give you the money. What happens then is up to you. So you see, it takes the burden of them trying to figure out how long you're going to live and all that kind of stuff. Okay? Notice, they typically match employee contributions. Employees are able to contribute. And here's some, depends on the type of plan. So you see a 401k, 403b, 457. These are different types of plans. So notice the big difference here. In the defined benefit plan, the business is obligated to you to make sure you get that money. Okay, so they put money away, they invest it. That's the pension idea. The other one, defined contribution, is different. They're like, okay, here's your $3,000 a year. What you do with it later on, how you invest it, that's up to you. Okay? So a couple ideas here. Annual contribution limits here, $23,000. $23,000. You can put some additional money in if you're older, if you're at least 50 years old. And employer contribution. So there's some limits here. Okay. So here's that cliff thing they were talking about, right? So this is for defined contribution plans, minimum vesting schedules. So on a 3-year cliff, notice you get 0, 0, and then 100%. So if you leave in the first 2 years, you get nothing. On a 6-year schedule here, it's 0, then 20, then 40, then 60. And notice after 6 years, then you get your 100%. Okay? And notice here, the source, this is subsection 411A. So they have to choose one of these two. Okay? Again, the distributions, they're taxed as ordinary income. If you take it early, if you're before you're 59 and a half years old, okay, or before 55 years old and separated from service, there's a 10% penalty. So besides being taxable, there's 10% penalty on top of that. Okay? So here's an example. Before Jason retires at the end of 2024, he contributes to his 401k. They match it. Look at this, 2 for 1. That's good. So for every buck he puts, they put in a buck. Up to 5% of the employee's salary. By the way, if you want to maximize this, anytime somebody is matching, maximize it. Okay? Put in the most you can because they're giving you free money towards your retirement. Jason's 72 years old at the end of the year. He's earned a salary of $700,000 during the year. Ooh, baby. He contributed $30,500 to his 401. How much will they contribute? Okay? So here you go. The answer is $46,000. How do you get that? Okay, so Jason is 50 plus years old, minus the $30,500. That's how much he contributed. Okay, so basically you take $76,500 minus what Jason contributed, and you get this $46,000. Okay, So basically, without the limitation, CBA would have contributed $70,000 to his account. So there is a limit there that they can put in, and that limit was up here. Okay, this is the limit right here that they're talking about. Okay, so you might have to go back and take a look at that. All right, folks, I'm going to stop it right here. We'll be back with more in just a moment.